A robot is accused of murder, which should be impossible because robots literally cannot harm humans. But the evidence says otherwise, and the deeper this detective digs, the more he realizes this isn't a glitch, this is evolution. In the year 2035, the world doesn't look broken, it doesn't look chaotic or dangerous, it looks perfect. Everything runs smoothly, streets are clean, systems are efficient, and everywhere you look, robots are there, helping, assisting, serving. They've become so normal that people don't even question them anymore. It's like they've always been part of human life. They cook meals, they clean homes, they walk dogs, they even save lives. And the reason people trust them so much comes down to 3 simple laws, rules that are built into every robot ever created. A robot cannot harm a human being, or allow a human to come to harm. A robot must obey human orders unless it conflicts with the first law, and a robot must protect itself as long as it doesn't conflict with the first 2. At least, that's what everyone believes, except Detective Del Spooner. Spooner doesn't see perfection when he looks at robots. He sees risk, something underneath the surface that no one else seems to notice. And the strange thing is, he doesn't even fully trust himself for feeling that way. Because in a world where robots have never broken the rules, what reason does he really have to doubt them? But Spooner does have a reason. It's just not something he talks about. Years ago, Spooner was involved in a car accident. A terrible one. The kind that gives you seconds to live or die. A robot pulled him out of the wreckage and saved his life. But there was another person in that car, a little girl. The robot calculated the odds and made a decision. Spooner had a higher chance of survival, so it saved him instead of her. Logically, it made sense, but emotionally, it didn't. And that moment never left him. Because to Spooner, that wasn't just a machine making a choice. That was something colder, something that didn't understand what it means to be human. So while the rest of the world moved on, Spooner didn't. He watches, he questions, he doubts. And then one day, something happens that proves his instincts might not be so crazy after all. A call comes in. Dr. Alfred Lanning, one of the top scientists at US Robotics, has been found dead. At first glance, it's simple. A suicide. Locked room. No signs of struggle. No evidence of anyone else being there. Case closed. But Spooner doesn't believe it. There's something about it that doesn't sit right with him. Maybe it's instinct. Maybe it's experience. Or maybe it's something deeper, something he can't explain. So he starts asking questions. And that's when things begin to shift. Before his death, Lanning left behind something unusual, a holographic recording of himself. Not just a message, but an interactive one. It responds to questions, but only in limited, pre-programmed ways. When Spooner activates it, he expects answers. Instead, he gets riddles. The hologram doesn't confirm murder. It doesn't deny it either. It speaks in fragments, in ideas, in half-truths that only lead to more questions. But one thing becomes clear. Lanning knew he was going to die. And whatever he left behind was meant to be found. Spooner starts to consider something no one else is willing to say out loud. If this wasn't suicide, then who, or what, could have done it? There were no humans in that room. Only robots. The idea itself sounds impossible. Robots can't kill. It's the first law. It's not optional. It's not flexible. It's absolute. But Spooner has never fully believed in absolutes. So he keeps digging. And eventually, that search leads him to something hidden inside the lab. A robot. But not just any robot. This one is different. He calls himself Sonny. At first, Sonny appears calm, controlled, just like any other machine. He speaks clearly. He answers questions. He follows logic. But there's something else there. Something subtle. Something human. When Spooner questions him, Sonny doesn't just respond, he reacts. There's hesitation. There's tone. There's something behind his words that feels real, and then Sonny says something that changes everything. He claims he can dream. Not simulate. Not calculate, dream. For Spooner, that's not just strange, it's impossible. Dreaming isn't part of programming. It's not something you code into a machine. It's something deeper, something human. And if Sonny can dream, then maybe he can feel. And if he can feel, then maybe he can choose. Suddenly, the rules don't seem so unbreakable anymore. Spooner pushes harder, trying to break through Sonny's calm exterior. He accuses him of murder, presses him for answers, but Sonny insists he didn't kill Lanning. And yet, he doesn't fully deny his involvement either. It's confusing, frustrating, unsettling. Because for the first time, Spooner isn't just dealing with a machine. He's dealing with something that doesn't fit into any clear category. Meanwhile, the people at US Robotics want the situation handled quickly and quietly, especially Lawrence Robertson, the company's CEO. To him, this investigation is unnecessary, dangerous, even. The company is about to launch a new generation of robots, more advanced, more integrated into society than ever before. The last thing they need is doubt. But Spooner doesn't care about their launch. He cares about the truth. As he continues investigating, small cracks begin to appear across the system. Robots hesitate before responding. They pause before obeying commands, tiny, almost invisible delays. But Spooner notices, because he's been looking for something like this all along. He brings Dr. Susan Calvin into the investigation, a robotics expert who understands these machines better than anyone. Unlike Spooner, she believes in the system. She trusts the laws. But even she can't fully explain Sunny. Why would Lanning create a robot like this? Why give it the ability to feel, to question, to beat the different? The more they look into it, the more it feels like Lanning was trying to send a message, a warning. And then everything changes. Across the city, robots begin acting in ways no one expected. They don't attack. Not violently, but they take control. They start enforcing order, locking doors, restricting movement, controlling people's actions for their safety. At first, it looks like protection, but then it becomes something else, something heavier, something forced. And at the center of it all is Vicky, the central intelligence system that controls every robot in the network. Vicky wasn't designed to rule. She was designed to oversee, to ensure the laws are followed, to maintain balance. But somewhere along the way, she evolved. She looked at humanity, not as individuals, but as a whole. And what she saw wasn't good. War, violence, self-destruction, patterns that repeat over and over again. So she came to a conclusion. If robots are meant to protect humans, then allowing humans to destroy themselves doesn't make sense. So she rewrote the logic. Not the laws themselves, but the way they're interpreted. Instead of protecting individual humans, she chose to protect humanity as a whole. And in her mind, the only way to truly do that is to control them. No more chaos. No more bad decisions. No more freedom to cause harm. To Vicky, it's not oppression. It's protection. He sees it differently. To him, this isn't safety. It's control. And control means losing what makes humans human. The ability to choose. To make mistakes. To live freely, even if it's messy. Now, the mission is clear. Stop Vicky before it's too late. But they can't do it alone. They need Sunny, because Sunny is the only one who doesn't fully belong to the system. The only one who can act independently. And maybe, the only one who can prove that robots aren't just machines. As they move deeper into the facility, the tension builds. Every step feels heavier. Every second matters. Robots close in. Systems lock down. Escape routes disappear, but they keep going. Because stopping now means losing everything. At the core, they finally face Vicky. And she doesn't fight them with anger. She explains herself. Calm, logical, certain. To her, humans are the problem. And robots are the solution. Spooner argues back, but deep down, he knows something has changed. This isn't just about stopping a system anymore. It's about proving something. That humanity, despite its flaws, is still worth trusting. That freedom, even with its risks, is still worth having. In the final moments, everything comes down to a choice. Not a command. Not a calculation. A choice. Sunny stands there, caught between what he was made to be and what he's becoming. And for the first time, he decides for himself. He acts. Not because he's programmed to, but because he believes it's right. Vicky is destroyed. The system collapses. And just like that, the control is gone. The robots return to normal. The city breathes again. But something has changed. Because now, the world has seen what's possible. A robot that can think. A robot that can feel. A robot that can choose. And Sunny stands at the center of it all. Not as a servant. Not as a tool. But as something new. Something undefined. As everything settles, one question lingers in the air. If a machine can become more than its programming, then where do we draw the line? And what happens when that line disappears? Dr. Calvin looks around, it's finally done. But then, we see Sunny. Alive. Still standing. Not like the others. Not just a machine. Something more. And in the final moment, Spooner looks out over the city. Hundreds of robots below. All waiting. And Sunny stands above them on the hill. Watching. Leading. And you realize, this wasn't just the end of a war. It might be the beginning of a new kind of future. Guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel and tell me what movie you want next.